And welcome to a fall classic analysis of the pitching card. This is going to help you learn the game. It's probably the easiest way to learn the game, understand the cards, and know where everything is. And from that point on, it's pretty simple. Um, Now, the great thing about Fall Classic Baseball and their pitcher cards is that you get three columns, and this is very extremely realistic. It's one of the attractions, or one thing that attracted me to this game, was the fact that it had three different pitcher columns, and you can have your A day, your B day, and C day. You know what? Just like real life, I have A days, B days, and C days. And my coworkers don't love me on my C days, and they don't sometimes love me on my A days. Who knows? It depends what that translates into for them. But anyway, all right, so Mike Norris had an amazing 1980 season. The reason I'm using a Mike Norris card 1980 season because I'm in a project, a Universal Baseball Association Facebook group project, and you should join the group. And it's connected to a lot of other groups, the Fall Classic Baseball group, and so on and so forth, and a bunch of other groups. So you should definitely go there for the highlights, the best of the best, and it's a community-based group. It's a community policing group. It's a friendly group. It's a great group. So join us. And we're doing a project. 5 managers get together and they all play 32 games. And then we all hand in the stats and we add them all up. And then we have the stats for the season. And that's how we're doing that. So this is Mike Norris. Mike Norris had an amazing 1980 season. He won 22 games. He was 22 and 9. He had a 2.53 ERA and 33 games started, 24 complete games, 284 innings pitched, 180 strikeouts, a 1.05 whip. Extremely impressive. So we're going to look at his card here. And I want to just slide it over just a little bit. There you go. So just see his card in the center. All right, so Mike Norris on the upper left-hand corner, and you can see the cursor. That's his throwing side. He's a righty. And he bats right, and he's a one-pitcher hitter card. So if he has to bat, he's a one-pitcher hitter card. I believe that's what that is. I haven't used that because I'm in the DH American League. But as you can see, the pitcher card, the hitter cards go up to you get all the doubles on the hitter card. Basically, you get all the doubles on the hitter card, and then once 31 rolls around, you are going to start looking at the pitcher card. And let's just say before the game you roll a D20, and if you roll a 1 to 6, you're going to use this column. And this column is lights out. This is like DeGrom, who I watch every night, because I'm a Met fan. I watch DeGrom every night, and sometimes he's just lights out. He's just like on it. Every pitch is just baffling, mystifying the opponent. Some days, DeGrom is giving up a leadoff hit, a leadoff walk. He's struggling a little bit. He's a little frustrated with himself, but no big deal. I mean, he still may give up a run, maybe one, And then some days DeGrom is not DeGrom, and he'll give up a single walk, and then all of a sudden a double, and everybody will be stunned, and he gives up 2 runs, and maybe that third run scores. He's given up 3 runs now, and that would be a C. A roll of 15 to 20 on a D20. So this is very extremely realistic, and this is something that really the only other system that I know that does this way is Status Pro Advanced. Other than that, Fall Classic Baseball is just really lovely. If APA and Stratomatic were designed today, this is what they would look like. This is a very professional system. It's got every season available. Fall Classic Baseball. It's a blast. So let's start with 31. You end up in 31. If he's an A, it's going to be an out. If he's a B or a C, it's going to be a single. So whatever it's, I did a batter. This is part 2. The part 1 is going to be the batter or the hitter card. This is the pitcher card. And so if you roll on the hitter 32 and it's a blank, you come over here and guess what? He's an A today and it's going to be an out. But if he's a C today, it's going to be a potential double, a pretty good potential. You roll a D20, 1 to 18, that's a double. If it's a blank on the batter card at 34, then you're going to look at the pitcher card, it's an out, and then of course you look at the chart or the fast action card, which I highly recommend. And there are outs all the way down on Mike Norris, who had a 2.53 ERA and a very low whip. So he's not going to allow very many base runners. So of course there's a lot of outs There's few hits. Even in his terrible days, he dominates. Um, you go to 42, it's going to be an out. 43 is going to be an out. 45 is going to be out. From 56 to 63 is going to be a strikeout. 64 is going to be an out. Again, you flip a fast action card. It'll tell you the kind of out that it is. Or you look on the chart. Now, 65, it's going to be a pitcher home run on the batter card. So then you come over to the pitcher card. But look at this. Well, no, just this 1 to 4 is going to be a home run. Right? And if it's a B day, 1 to 7 is going to be a home run. And if it's a 65 in the C section, it's going to be a 1 to 10 home run. So, of course, he's going to give up more home runs as a C pitcher. Then you get to the KD. KD is the errors. This is related to when you roll 51, 52, or 53, and I go over that on the hitter card. You can go watch that video. It's about a 10-minute video. And so when there's an error, you're going to roll for the error. If it's a 1 to 4, there's no error. It's a strikeout. So it's basically a strikeout defensive result. So 1 to 4, when he's an A pitcher, he's going to get more strikeouts. So there's not going to be an error check if you roll a 1 to 4. In the C column, it's going to be a 1 to 2 that it'll be a strikeout and no check for error. But a KD is an error check, and the hitter card and the fast action card will tell you who you're checking, or the chart will tell you. Now, there's a bunch of charts. I would skip those and go directly to the fast action cards for $19.99. Well worth it. You have thousands of outcomes. All you got to do is after every game, you don't have to be roll. There's so many outcomes. There's thousands of outcomes. There's like 11 numbers on every card. 11 numbers just for this initial roll of a red and a white. It's called a D36 because it's 36 outcomes. D36 is basically you roll the red and the white, just like in APA, and you read the red one first. So if you roll a 6 into 3, the red is a 6. You roll a 63, you would look at 63, and 63 here would be a strikeout. But of course, it starts with the batter, then it goes to the pitcher. Here it gives you important information. So when you roll a 54 is going to be and that'll tell you on the batter's card, it's going to be a check for a wild pitch or a pass ball. And you're going to check 1 to 18 is going to be a wild pitch. So he's going to be pitching a bunch of wild pitches. He gives up he has control issues at different points, so he has a certain number of wild pitches that he's allowed. It doesn't happen very much, but it may happen once a game or once every 2 or 3 games. I don't know how many he had. I could look it up, but it's not important. Let me tell you, 1 to 18 in about 280. Let's just say I'll tell you how many wild pitches he had in 1980. Let's take a look real quick here. He had actually 9 wild pitches. So this is going to be, I guess, a wild pitch every 3 games. So 1 to 8 is going to be 1 to 18 is going to be a wild pitch every 3 games. So he should finish with about 9 to 10 wild pitches. Then you're going to have the hit by pitch. There's no number there. 37 batters. He can face 37 batters. In relief, he didn't have any relief appearances, I don't think. No. But if he came in relief, he could face 37 batters. Everything else is not there. Then you have the range. His range at pitcher, he's got an above average range. So if it's hit to him and it's a range check, he's going to really get off the mound quickly, and it'll be a 16 on a D20. So 1 to 16, and he gets the ball and over to first. His arm rating is average. That means he may get a pickoff. He may get a bunt, get a batter that lays down a bunt. He may throw him out. So this arm rating is not his pitching mound to home rating, but it's more his fielding arm rating. And then of course his error rating is a 10. He had a couple errors, and on a D20, 50% of the time he will make an error at pitcher, and also the exotic chart will give you some automatic errors every so often. And that's about it. Here you have all his stats at the bottom of the card. And so you know exactly. Now, the only thing that I would mention is that it doesn't come with an ERA. I'd like to see an ERA on here because even though ERA is not that important because you can't really control it, you can control WHIP much easier. Because ERA, there's so many, intangibles that you can't control that result in high ERAs or low ERAs and so on and so forth. I understand why ERA is not in here, but it's just in the nature of the game for me and the stats to look at the ERA. just to get a general idea if you have a lot of runs or not. Um, and that's about it. This is Mike Norris's card for 1980. Once you watch the hitter card, the batter card, I'm going to do two more of these. I'm going to do the ballpark card and the fast action card as well, so you can understand those. And once you get this basically down, you are ready to go. And then after that, it's just getting familiar with the charts. If you get the fast action cards, then you won't have to worry about anything. It's automatic. The whole game becomes automatic, and you just have to look at the charts maybe once or twice. Greg, the designer, you can find him on Delphi Fall Classic. He's there all the time. I wish he'd stop by the Facebook group and say hello every so often. Um, and if you can check that and you can talk to him, and he's very active. He's always answering questions and giving people insight. But he's got 100 seasons. I mean, at least 100 seasons. I mean, he's got tons of seasons. So this is definitely worth getting into because you're not going to be disappointed. You can get those 76s, those 70s, those late 60s, the things you can't get with some other, you know, manufacturers. So anyway, this is CP Cards and Dice saying check out Fall Classic Baseball. Check out ID Jester does a couple of videos as well. He loves this game, and he discovered this game about a year ago, and he was spot on. This is a great game. It flows amazingly. I'm doing videos every night, every other night, so you can check those out on Cards and Dice TV on YouTube. And this is CP Cards and Dice for the Universal Baseball Association Facebook group and at Gmail as well. Universal Baseball Association at Gmail if you want to reach out, or if you just want to make a comment on the video. We also monitor the YouTube comments as well. So this is CP Cards and Dice saying adios.